database management.
Oh, I love it. That was the class that I took before. Was awesome. It's complicated. I'm telling you. If
Yeah,
you haven't, if you haven't seen about database before, it will drive you bonkers out. So it
yeah,
will make you crazy.
yeah. That's me. I have zero Oracle or SQL experience. I don't know it, so very difficult.
All right, but if you need some help, I still have my information, and so I
That's
can pretty much help you in that if you need it.
I appreciate that. And I'm also doing business 211. Hey Adam, how you doing? Well, yeah, business 211, and then also foundations of science, which is a good class. I like that one.
All right, you're taking 4 classes. Each one is 3 credits.
Yeah,
Wow, it's a lot.
yeah.
Hello.
Just trying to get through it, get done. I probably have maybe 1 year left, and then I'll be done. Hey, we're all here. Tom, Adam, good morning.
Morning, how you doing?
Good. Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll start the broadcast so we can start recording, and then we'll jump into it. Emmanuel, it looks like we're getting a lot of feedback on your side, so you may want to mute your microphone when you're not talking. Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start recording now. Okay, good morning, guys. This is our week 6 CIT 261 group meeting. The whole team is here. Awesome, thank you, guys. So like we talked about last week, it looks like our scripture tracking application needs to change into something different. Brother James wanted to see something that would solve more of a business problem. So we talked about doing a project management scheduler app. So I had a couple ideas. I threw a file up there on the shared drive. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it or if any of you guys have any other ideas. But we need to come up with something today and then really start running with making code. And we have to start submitting code to Brother James. His weekly address said that if you're not submitting code, you have a 0 in the grades column. I don't know about you guys, but yes, I have a 0 right now. So we got to start submitting something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Okay. Did you guys have any ideas? Have you made anything? Do you want me to screen share and show you what I've came up with, and we can kind of talk about that and discuss that for a while?
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and share yours, I tried to think of something, but I'm not really the greatest at designing
Sure.
like that.
So I don't know if I'd mentioned before, but I come from a telecommunications background. So I worked for a company where we had 50 project managers, and they're always going out in the field and they're trying to get crews working on this and that. We were pulling data cable, network infrastructure and wireless devices and security systems. And a lot of the project managers, they'd always struggle with this and that. I thought one of the things that would help them is just some way to delegate tasks to guys quickly and easily. So let me get to so this is just and I thought I'd read somewhere that it has to be a single page app, that he didn't want something where you're going to get lost in menus and going here and there and everywhere. So if there was just kind of a single page, I was picturing like I don't know if you've seen the Nest. It's like a home thermostat system. It's just kind of a nice, clean looking display. So I was kind of envisioning this, circle chart where you could see how complete your project was, what tasks you had, what had been assigned, what wasn't assigned, which was just the pie chart in the center. And then maybe they could have a list of what employees or technicians they have on their crew, what their status is. Maybe there'd be drop downs so they could, sort by employee or by status. and then they'd have a list of tasks, and they could see what was assigned and what wasn't. And then they could email like task assignments to the technicians, and the technicians would get on their mobile. So this was definitely designed to be a mobile application, and then like I said, the employee emails, the task list, that's something the project manager would load into this app, from their computer in their office, and then they would upload it to this mobile app. So then if they're on site walking to see the progress of the project, and they can kind of see who's doing what and maybe delegate new tasks to people. It's probably not the greatest thing. I'm trying to think of a simple application, so we're not inventing something that's too difficult to do here, but just kind of a real basic application. That was about the best I could come up with this week. What do you think? Is that something that could work?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's simple enough, but there are enough features to.
And as far as how could we tie in, transitions and animations in JSON, if we have, unassigned tasks, and then, so maybe the project manager, the PM, he can be out there working on the site, and he's like, okay, well, I still got 3 tasks unassigned. He could sort it by unassigned, and he could assign tasks, on site. Maybe after getting eyes on site and seeing who's there, he could assign tasks, and then maybe it's a real-time update on the pie chart, so that the graph changes, and we have smooth transitions rather than just a transform. What's that?
So that's actually kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah. And maybe we could, what other elements that we've been learning about, so that could be a CSS transition, getting the pie chart to update, maybe, on mouse over the employee name or task name, expands, enlarges a little bit, or changes font colors, something basic like that. Drop down menus, well, I guess that's a transition as well. I don't know how we could tie in JSON or other.
Well, we could have a JSON file that has all the data for the employee name, status, task name, status, maybe task status or something, and then we could populate that table from the JSON file.
Okay.
I guess, and the chart too.
Okay.
So,
let's see if I can. Who's that? Was that Brother James? Oh, Emmanuel had to go. Yeah, we lost it. Okay. I know he was traveling on a bus. He said he was just getting back to Mexico. So here, I'll reply to him real quick.
The other thing we could do is we could. So I started a little bit.
Yeah, I did see that. You'd made some.
Yeah, pretty much the only thing it does right now is you can add new tasks to it. A lot of it is from that to-do list app on W3 School, so it'll need to be changed a lot. But what we could do is we could add tasks and then save it to a file, like overwrite the file, the JSON file, and then I don't know. That's later on down the road, though.
Yeah.
But
only thing I'm worried about is later on the road is not very far, and we're already halfway, so we're gonna have to.
Yeah, well, I mean, like in a week or two.
Hang on a second.
What the heck is going on?
Well, that's going to probably start a new. Hey, Emmanuel, I'll call you back on the other call. Okay, we'll. Hi. Where? All right, I'm going to stop this. Bites. Hey, okay, thanks, Emmanuel.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's all right. Okay, so Emmanuel, I don't know where we lost you. Tom and I were talking about. He's got some code here that he pulled from W3 Schools for a task list. We just have to kind of change this. This is where I don't know. I get worried because I don't have a lot of experience with any of this stuff. You know, I know I did like the CIT 160 a year or so ago, but I don't remember a whole lot about it. I still have a couple HTML, CSS books. So I could go through and find some things. I could do W3 Schools and I could find some examples.
You're kind of hard to hear.
Sorry. I'm just, I don't know. I guess I'm worried about pulling my own weight on this project, you know, on what I can do to jump in here with the coding. We really need to get cracking on submitting code to Brother James. You know, we've invited him to a couple meetings. I've never seen him. I haven't heard anything directly from him. No feedback. He's made a couple comments on our shared drive, or our community board. Are you guys getting anything from him?
No, not really.
Nope.
Yeah.
These kind of classes are very little to do with the instructor stepping in. It's mainly when you start submitting stuff that he'll give feedback.
Right. So, according to his weekly address to us, he said that if we have a 0 grade, that's because he doesn't have a link to our repository. Maybe that's not the exact words he used, but get to his 260.
Well, what we can do is we just take the all the topics that we were assigned, and we just like do that part of the app. I mean, like I'm really not worried about this like at all.
Yeah.
So what we can do is, like, if people are worried, let's just have more meetings. You know, let's just get together for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, make it really productive.
Yeah.
Have our code assignments, you know, I mean, our code topics, and then we just, you know, dig in, write some code, send it to them, call it a day, you know?
Yeah.
Like, let me pull up.
Well, some of us are each, we're each going to overlap on some topics, which is probably okay. We just need to each, I guess, figure out how we're going to integrate that in.
Yeah, let's see here. Try to find the schedule thing.
Mike is sharing it.
Yeah, I've got it up.
Okay. So I think the first things that we need to do is build out an HTML, CSS, kind of a framework for the app. Let's see. I don't think anyone even has that really.
I don't want to do this here. Let me. Before I close this, so what Brother James was saying this week, he said we're halfway, and he doesn't have links to most of our portfolios. So if we got a 0 in the grade book, he said he doesn't have a link to the portfolio. So we need to resend that. So maybe he doesn't have a link to this. I guess this GitHub repository. We need to send that to him. Maybe he doesn't have a link to this.
Quite possible.
So let me make another to-do list for this week. All right, so we need to send link to repository. Project management. Right, you said that was more the task list though.
Yeah, I mean, like all the things. I mean, like if I were building it, I would start with the HTML, CSS, and then I would probably the next thing would be making sure that the data from the JSON file gets pulled in appropriately. Show tasks by employee, email assignment. So the show tasks by status. Those could be Ajax requests. Show tasks by employee. That could be an AJAX request to the JSON file to pull in the tasks by employee. It's kind of almost like a SQL query, but
Okay.
same thing with show tasks by status. Email assignment to. The easiest thing to do first would be just to do a mail to. It's a little bit tricky to send an email, I think, from inside the app. But so the all. What is the all project tasks? What were we?
I was just kind of trying to throw a label out there that this pie chart was going to be, a representation of all project tasks.
Oh, okay, that's a label. I thought it was a button. Okay.
No. But maybe we could. I don't know if we could change it where maybe they could click on Joe Bob, and then it would change the pie chart to just Joe Bob specifically, and it would show him what he's completed, what he's assigned to, or his status. Or not at all. Maybe that's getting too involved. We don't need to go that deep. But it basically it's just a label.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, and I was going to say, if you do show tasks by employee, I don't know, you might be able to include the pie chart in there with just a tad bit of code change. I mean, all you're looking at is telling the code, instead of looking at all the tasks, to look at tasks where employee equals person's name.
Mm-hmm. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't really know what I was thinking about with that. I guess it wouldn't really. If you wanted to show by complete, then it would just have to it would change to a list instead of a pie chart. Unless you just wanted to do a count. but that's all. That's already what it was.
So yeah, so I'm just looking at the schedule right now. Loops, conditional. So there's going to be plenty. There's going to be loops, and there's going to be JSON is JavaScript object notation, so it'll naturally will create probably task objects from the data that comes from the JSON file, JSON parse that brings it in, consumer JSON web service. So yeah, that's the AJAX request. Local storage API. So local storage, we could do. We could have a way to put new tasks and just store the tasks that are there already locally. So that takes care of that.
Well, and one of the arrays might be the employee list of employees.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Does he have any? I don't know. Probably should ask him if he's okay if we use MySQL, because that's a storage API, isn't it? Or is that? Well,
MySQL's like a database for web.
Well, yeah, I'm using it in my other class. I just don't know if he would accept that as a local storage API, or if he considers that something a little bit bigger.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's. Oh, that's what you're using with the PHP.
Yeah.
Let's see. Because there is a. Oh yeah, you could ask him. See what he says. But I really don't I don't think it's. I think once we start getting it going, which I can do some of the groundwork, because there's no like topic for just HTML, CSS, basic JavaScript. So I can get all that up, maybe today or tomorrow, and update the GitHub repo, and then you all can. Then we can start making. I think the biggest thing is I think we just need a little bit more communication throughout the week, which is really hard for me to do because I always forget about this class, and
yeah.
So I'm like the worst offender of that. So,
I generally don't get to work on this class till the weekends too. So
yeah, because I think that will kind of ease some, some anxiety or whatever about this. So,
yeah.
And then a lot of this stuff is just going to be kind of, hey, okay, we have to do this topic, so let's throw that in there in this place, So, like the animation and transition events, like that's going to be a bell or a whistle,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, even if we can just send out like an email of, hey, I'm working on this or whatever, if we don't have time to do an actual Hangouts call, we can always just do email communication throughout the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then let's do that. I mean, if keeping more communication helps, let's, for example, send an email with an update about what we're working or researching by Wednesday, and if anybody has any questions, we can continue sending more emails and providing feedback.
You want to get together on Wednesday, you say?
Right.
He said email by Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm. We do need to communicate more than once a week. I'm good with that.
So because I know that every has.
Tom, you cut out real bad through that.
No, I think that was Manuel.
Oh.
No worries.
Yeah, I know he's on a bus, so his signal's going in and out. Are you still there, Emmanuel?
I'm still here.
Okay, cool. Oh, we thought we lost you. Okay, well, shoot. All right, so let's see what we can do here. Tom, you said you could probably start on some groundwork. I think if we have a frame, then we could start adding other stuff to it. We can't really do that until we have the framework. So,
Yeah.
if you don't mind,
Sure.
if you want to run with that, then we could each take some of the topics that we've already covered, and even if it's just put some ideas of because honestly, I don't, transitions, I could probably figure out how to code some basic transitions, but it's not going to be spectacular. At least just
Yeah, if we need to use like 2 or 3 pages on this, not like just a single page, then that will work just fine. I mean, I think it might be a little hard to fit everything like this onto one.
Yeah, it probably will.
Yeah. So when he was talking about the code, submitting code snippets, is he talking about related to the code topics? Is that what we're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, we're supposed to submit related to our code topics what we're like for our project. We basically, as far as I know, just kind of take a chunk of it and submit it to them and say, this is from our project on this part of it, and it's supposed to do this or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing I don't understand with that is like, I have not done and I won't do a presentation on local storage API. So does that mean I need to learn and understand that fully based off of, you guys, Tom and Adam, like off your presentation? I'll learn it completely, and then I need to submit
That's a really good question.
Yeah, I don't. That would be a good question to ask him. I don't think so, but
yeah, I don't know that we have to have something in every single topic. For our grade book, I'm assuming we just have 10 weeks worth that we're supposed to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 13 topics. Not a recommended, just
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. Man, I'm so big. I got to do presentations. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
I generally throw those together on Saturday mornings. So.
Yeah. Well, but he commented on yours, Adam. He liked yours because you've got a lot of good, code examples. It's not just documentation. So keep doing.
Yeah, I saw that.
He liked that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll get working on that, and then in the next couple days, I'll just send out an email that I updated the repository, and then we can just start. I think it'll be easier to plan it out once it's kind of in motion.
Yeah.
And then we can just go from there.
Yeah. I think the only other things that maybe we could add a percentage bar below, if that would just be a different visual if the pie chart's not working. Sorting employees' tasks or status by A to Z, ascending or descending. I don't know if those are checking off any other code topics by having options like that. But yeah, if you guys have any other thoughts, this was just the first idea that I could come up with. So I'm not, set or gung-ho about this. If you guys come up with something better, I'm all ears. But yeah, we gotta get going on something.
There are a couple of this is Emmanuel again. There are a couple of applications already that exist for project management. I'll do some research and see what we can complement in the ones that you're presenting, and also the project planning, which is something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did go out. I did look at some. I didn't want to, totally plagiarize something that's already out there. He's already kind of warned us about, don't submit code topics to him that are super long and involved, because he's going to He said he can just Google search your code, and if it comes up that you've just copied somebody else's, and he's not going to like it. So I'm trying to make sure we keep it original, and he just wants a simple presentation or example of the topics. He said just get to the principles and cover those, so it doesn't look like it has to be super elaborate.
No, that's
Okay,
this.
yeah. What's more with the idea to this out there and what we can complement with to our application.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. Yeah, I guess I'm not trying to discourage you from that. Just kind of a warning that he.
yeah,
Keep
totally.
keep it
Copy
simple.
paste is. I get that.
Yeah. All right.
So
do
should we email back by Wednesday then? Is that what we said?
Well, let's definitely try to keep in touch throughout the week. If it's Wednesday, that's cool. Tom, if you need more time than that for the framework, that's fine. But yeah, let's try to touch base more than just once a week.